Blessings and welcome to the Path to Freedom. My name is Daniel Roqueyo, and as always, I'm deeply grateful and honored that you are choosing to join me as we move along this path of freedom, this path of awakening, this path of allowing for forever greater and greater expressions of who and what we are to emerge, and for us to allow for more peace and more joy and more harmony and wholeness and abundance and beauty to emerge from within us, to flow into our experience with ever-increasing ease and grace. So, and that's what it is to walk this path of freedom. That's what this is about, to allow for all of these to come into our experience. So it's a beautiful path. It is an absolutely marvelous path to be walking. It's an amazing adventure. And it's kind of like a roller coaster. And that is actually what I want to talk about today, that life is like a roller coaster and that we are wise to enjoy the ride with its ups and downs and its spins and its rolls and its loops and all that it is to be going on a roller coaster. It is a beautiful ride because this ride, this path, it is not all smiles all of the time. It is not about being eternally happy and eternally smiling, even though it is about allowing for ever-increasing joy to emerge. But joy is not the same as being happy all of the time. But as we move along this path and as we do this work of continuously allowing for the small and the limited, of continuously dying to our littleness, our current expression, so that a new expression, so that something greater and grander may emerge, we inevitably move through spaces of sweet release, of sweet letting go, of transformation, when we're in the midst of the old dying, the old dissolving, and the new emerging, but the old hasn't quite dissolved yet, and the new hasn't quite emerged yet. So we're in this sort of no man's land where it's kind of messy from time to time. It's kind of turbulent. Old structures dissolving, crumbling, falling apart, old habits, old thought forms, old ways of being are dissolving, they are disintegrating. But there's no new structure for us or foundation for us to stand upon. So we kind of get lost in a land of nothing, a land of mist, of chaos. And I'm actually in that space right now, which is why I'm feeling inspired to address this and to share about how to move through this space. I've been going through a quite intense transformation for a number of weeks now, and it's been very up and down. There have been days when I've been in bliss, and there have been days like not really right now, but just earlier today when I was feeling kind of dank and dark and murky and almost not depressed but indifferent. There was no inspiration, there was no apparent geist, there was no go. I didn't feel like doing anything, and this is all right because this is the ride. What happens? This actually has a term. It's called chemicalization. I think it was Dr. Howard Thurman that coined this phrase, chemicalization, which is when we are in that space, when the old is dying and the new is emerging. The ego kind of goes temporarily blind. We go kind of temporarily blind, not physically. It's not our physical eyes that go blind, but our inner sense of direction, our inner compass. We have no clear sense of direction. And for me, what is coming up is that I'm kind of losing the sense of who I am. I'm not losing my sense of purpose, but I'm losing my sense of direction. And I'm kind of losing my momentum. It's like I'm walking in goo or I'm trapped in mud. It's an effort to keep moving forward. And I just want to, I've been going through this space for so many times during all these years. So I know what's happening. I know that this is good in progress. And I actually have a phrase. Well, it wasn't me that coined that phrase either. But there is a phrase that goes, sometimes feeling bad is good in progress. And as we're walking along this path, and as we're doing this inner work, when we come into these spaces, when we move into these spaces of not feeling good, if we are honest about the inner work that we're doing, if we are sincere about us waking up, we can be sure that feeling bad is good in progress. I'm not generally feeling good right now, but I know that it is good in progress. So I can still be in a space of joy. I can still be in a sense of peace. I can still be in a sense of trusting, coming back, knowing, feeling that all is well. Trusting, knowing, feeling that something wonderful is happening. Trusting, knowing, feeling that everything, even this, is working for the highest good. This is what it means to release and let go of the old, the small, the limited, so that the new may emerge. It is messy. It is going in loops. It is going in twists and, all these curves and things that a roller coaster does. It is going on that ride. It is being on that ride. And we are so wise to embrace and allow whatever is to be as it is. There's no need for us to label this, and there's no need for us to actually not even put any attention to it or give it attention. There's no need for us to talk about it all that much if we feel the need to share it with a more or less awakened individual who knows that this is good in progress, who knows that this is something good happening, that this is a gift and a blessing taking place, that this is about growing, that this is about expanding, then we're absolutely free to share it. But if we feel compelled and inspired to share it with someone who perhaps will label it or judge it, or they will think that this is something bad, that what is happening is wrong, that we need to do something about it, we're wise to keep our mouths shut. Like that saying goes, a wise man once said nothing. A wise man once said nothing. We're not obliged to share everything that goes on. And as we move along this path, we gradually come to realize, to know that it doesn't always serve a purpose to share what we're going through. It's just stuff. It's just stuff. We know that something is being released. We know that in that void, it feels kind of messy. And we know that something greater is about to emerge. And that is it. That is when we know that, this ride becomes joyous. It becomes so much easier to enjoy the ups and downs of life. Because God is always in a state of progression. Spirit is always in a state of expansion. But for something to expand, something's got to go. We cannot expand and stay the same. So when we are on this ride, when we are going through the loops and the curves and the twists and the corkscrews and whatever they're called, we know that it is a joyous thing. It is something good that is happening. We can trust that. And we can enjoy the ups and downs. We can enjoy, unless we're getting car sick or motion sick and get nauseous or something like that. but we can still enjoy the ride. We can still enjoy the experience of this adventure, this dynamic experience of this adventure. So life is like a roller coaster, and especially when we're on this path, when we are about awakening, when we are willing to do the inner work, not repressing, not denying, not pushing away, not running away from, but embracing, allowing, becoming aware, being with it, we can allow it to be. And it can still be joyous even when it doesn't feel good. Even when it doesn't feel good, it can still be joyous. I am so grateful to be in this space right now, even though I'm not feeling too good. I'm so grateful because I know that once I emerge out of this space, I'm going to emerge completely different. And the deeper the space, the darker the space, the danker the space, the more turbulent the space, the greater the uplift will be. So, as I've been moving through this space for about 3 or 4 weeks now, I absolutely know when I emerge, the me that emerges are going to be totally different from the me that went into this space. This is like, and I often use this metaphor, this is like the caterpillar moving into the cocoon, creating the cocoon, closing itself up in the cocoon, going through the metamorphosis where the caterpillar actually dissolves. It is not a transformation per se, but the caterpillar ceases to exist and a completely new being, the butterfly, emerges. And actually in the beginning, the caterpillar resists, and the immune system of the caterpillar kills off the new cells that are beginning to emerge, the butterfly-like cells that are beginning to emerge. But they begin to multiply and prolifify, or whatever the word is. They begin to multiply with such speed that there comes a sort of tipping point where the immune system has to yield. The caterpillar has to yield and begin to cease to exist, so that the butterfly may begin to emerge, and so that the butterfly may begin to exist. So this is good in progress. This roller coaster ride, with its highs, with its lows, they're all good. It is all good. Spirit is everywhere. Spirit is fundamentally good. So everything is working for good. So these challenges, and every single challenge that we move through, absolutely have gifts and blessings of transformation. We're wise to look for them. We're wise to seek to know them, to feel them, and to enjoy them, and to be grateful for them. And that makes the ride, this roller coaster ride, so much easier to enjoy. So much easier to participate in. Allow to happen. So that's my invitation. Whatever comes, as we are moving through this ride, as we have said yes on being on this ride, whatever happens, whatever is, we're wise to embrace and allow it and enjoy it, knowing that it is good in progress. So until the next time, thank you so much for tuning in, for participating. I absolutely bless every single one of our days, and I absolutely bless every single one of our ways. Namaste.